Hello, this is Gerd Leonhard and welcome to The Future Show. Thanks for watching. Today we're talking about offline as the new luxury. As you may have observed in the last few years, we are living in a world where everything that we do is constantly being filmed, photographed, collected, monitored, and surveilled, which means that all our movements, all our data, our social media, our search engines, our mobile phones are being collected into a giant pool of information. And this has a lot of advantages for us, of course, being online when you're traveling. You can look up hotels or restaurants, and you can write a review on Wikipedia and so on, or you can make a comment on TripAdvisor. But what it means is that we're very much used to constantly being connected. And in a way, this creates a kind of a dependency on us and on being connected and being reachable. For example, there has been recent research showing that social media has led to the effect that a lot of people are working 20% more of their time because they're constantly reachable by their boss or by their business partners. And from consumers, of course, this has also great advantages, but really what we're seeing here is a stress factor that's building up by being connected. And so recently you've seen this move towards what's sometimes being called detox or DTech, which basically means that when you're disconnecting, you're feeling like you can be in the moment. In fact, now there's hotels and restaurants also that will reward you for going offline. For example, there are some restaurants in the US where you get a 10% reduction on your dining bill if you check in your mobile phone at the counter when you come in. There's also hotels guaranteeing that you cannot receive phone calls or get on the internet, of course, while you're there, and charging extra for that. So this is a reversal of what we had only 10 years ago. Offline is also a luxury if you're looking at the luxury market. For example, a lot of people who have more money are no longer carrying a mobile phone. They're giving the mobile phone to their assistants, and they're freed of digital pollution, so to speak, or keeping their minds on different goals. And you'll be seeing this trend in the next 5 years accelerating, as many of us will find a way to deal with a sort of a backlash of electronic communications and wanting to stay human, and also, of course, spending vacation in nature, going back to nature as part of this trip, organic foods and what's called mindfulness being a general trend as far as going offline is concerned. I think this is actually not to be considered to be an opposite to being connected. I think it's actually a very good combination of the two. So offline as a luxury we'll see in many modifications in tourism, in travel, in business, and of course in commerce. The question for kids, for example, if kids are going to be perceiving offline as a luxury, I think eventually that really applies to everyone, because everybody has this the feeling of wanting to go inside rather than outside. And I think this is something that even a 16-year-old will eventually experience after they have OD'd, so to speak, on connectivity. Then I think this is an effect that's merely human. It's not so much a generational effect. I think this is something we're going to see across all generations. And what we can do about this idea of achieving some of this offline luxury, so to speak, right, is to embrace the thought that we need to have a balance between those two things. And we'll see this happening especially with kids, and you'll see a lot of kids leaving Facebook for that reason also in the near future, is that we need to figure out a way not to say yes, just yes all the way, or no, none at all. I mean, you can't actually disconnect and live anymore today. Otherwise, you have to move to Amish country or to the Swiss mountaintops. So you need to find a good compromise. So that requires a new social contract between how we communicate and when we do what, and will we have dinner with our iPhones or with our partners or our kids. And if you extrapolate from today, it could very easily be that in the future, we're actually going to eat virtual food with virtual people in virtual places. And then we have to think about if that is the right future for us. So thanks very much for listening. This is The Future Show with Gerd Leonhard, and I hope to see you next time.